Let's see if this is better. Yes, okay. Oh, so there's a visual indicator on my microphone. Good to know. Alright, we're going to be doing Return to Night of the Zealot. For anyone who didn't catch the end of the last one, I'm still babysitting my nephew, so I might have to leave quickly in between. It's also why my headphone's not covering my ear, so I can hear the baby monitor. If you hear the baby crying, it's the same thing. But he should be fine. Hopefully he'll sleep through the night and everything will be easy. We're going to do Return to the Night of the Zealot. And I thought a little bit about who I wanted to play in this. So we're playing with the whole card pool for the first time on stream. I guess I played through the Scarlet Keys last time, but we didn't have any of the Return to cards, and there are a few of them that are quite powerful for certain investigators and in certain deck modes. I don't think I played any of them that mattered particularly. I think Vincent had one or two, but I never had enough experience for his deck anyway because he came in halfway through. Um, so I realized that Return to the Night of the Zealot does a lot of things really well, but it's still only 3 missions, and so because of that, I don't want to play someone that's super exciting to me. So in fact, I chose two new investigators that are new to me. I haven't played either of them yet, and part of that's because of the group that I play with, and part of that's because not too many people like skids. So I decided to just play with skids today. This is going to be my first time doing that. I'm going to show you guys the list that I'm playing with. So you'll pretty much see me take in the thick of it in all non-Iron Man challenges. We'll talk about what an Iron Man challenge is after I finish all the return twos, and I might do that for you guys. But I'm going to take in the thick of it because it's a great way to just jumpstart your deck, and you typically end up having a lot of extra life in your missions, and so because of that, it uh, comes with little penalty and usually gives big rewards. So Skids has interesting ability. He could spend two resources to take an action every turn. So if you do that a lot, you'll end up spending a lot of money. It's very inefficient over time, but what it will do is give you chances and windows to burst actions. So noting that we're going to have some tight action economy and some financial action economy, the first card I wanted to take was Easy Mark. It gives you 3 copies of a card that give you 2 resources and draw a card. So already, just playing Easy Mark is going to net you 2 extra actions if you think about what an action does for a turn, right? You could use an action to draw a card, or you can use an action to gain a resource. This gives you 2 resources and a card. If you happen to have multiple copies of it, you get multiplicative value of it. It becomes, 6 or 9 if you have all 3. And so it's just a great card to include, and it also is, because it's Myriad, it takes more cards out of our deck slots, so we don't have to play some of the weaker zero-cost cards. We're playing Ever Vigilant, same thing. It's going to let us play actions and reduce their costs, right? So we get 3 plays, and we can reduce it by 1 each time. So it's 1 card for 6 effective actions if we have enough resources to play. We might not, we'll see. We have 10 assets, so it's not crazy high. We might eventually get a backpack if we start having more. Rogues in general have a lot of assets, but they're not always all items, so it makes the backpack even a little bit more complicated. But for now, we have the old reliable machete for skids. Now, we don't have any other items for fighting, which is a little concerning, but that said, we do have the ability to evade quite often, and so that's a thing we're going to keep in mind. We have a very healthy suite of skill cards because they don't cost any money and they provide value. So we're going to use them to bridge any of our skill gaps, looking to generate tempo and damage that way, and potentially resources with Watch This. The other investigator I'm going to play is a favorite of most people. I just haven't gotten a chance to play him because most of the people that I play with tend to play the clue getters, and I have to either play hybrid characters or combat specialists. So we're looking here at Daryl. Daryl's the latest investigator for clues, or the best investigator for clues from Scarlet Keys. Vincent's very hybrid, right? But Daryl here, he's got 5 intellect, which is a healthy starting number. I think it's the highest among the survivors. And he has access to some pretty nifty cards, so we put him together. You'll see here he does not have In the Thick of It, and that's okay. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to have it. If he did have it, I would probably start with Scavenging and bring that up to the level 2 card, which will let you also play the card that you scavenge for. And then I'd probably consider I'm not sure for the extra 1 XP, maybe just on the magnifying glass. But it should be okay, and we'll see how we do. You'll notice a lot of similarities to my other Clue Getter cards, because these are just, in my opinion, some of the best, right? I think Dr. Milan, if you have access to him, it's very hard to not take him, just because of how much power he works. You have to really have something in the ally slot that supplants him, and not much does. We have Magnifying Glass and Dream Diary, which I'm sure you're going to get used to. We do have the backpack for Daryl as we're playing 15 assets, even if 9 of them are, or sorry, what is it? Yeah, 6 of them are not items. Remember that the Kodak starts in play, so it's not going to be, it's actually 14. It's a little misleading. But either way, we are ready to go, so we're going to hop back into, I don't remember to switch the scenes so that way we don't lose the session. There we are. We'll hop into here. We have a fresh board. You'll see that it's returned to the gathering as opposed to just the gathering. We'll click build over here, and that'll drop in all of our investigator cards. Alright, so as usual, we have to get rid of the cellar, and we have to get rid of an attic. Shuffle that, do that, so we're following the rules. You'll see here we have Daryl's Kodak in play. The Essence of the Dreams are for the diaries. And Shrewd Analysis is like we have always said, it's a free roll. You can choose to take it or not, but I think it's very valuable. So Daryl's Kodak begins the game in play. Whenever an enemy enters play, you exhaust it and place a resource on it as evidence. Whenever you discover clues, you put it on the enemy or the treachery. And then when you discover clues, you may move evidence at that location to the Kodak. So it's a way to get evidence. Now we'll see how we can use that as the game progresses, but over here we can also use the evidence that we've collected to reduce skill tests by 2. So it's a very effective way to make tests that are difficult for Daryl. And as we covered, Skids is to spend 2 resources to take an extra action, and it's capped at once per turn. In the Thick of It just begins, and oh, well, what a wonderful card for Skids to have as his weakness. Oh, game, it loves us sometimes, doesn't it? Alright, so you'll notice there's an extra card up here for setup, and this is to denote how to set up for the return to the gathering. So basically we just switch out the ghouls that we collect. We're going to remove Act 1 and replace it with a different one, which is right here. We flip it over. It's going to be replacing the original study. If you remember, we started in just the study, and instead we're going to be adding in these new locations, which is the guest hall, the bedroom, bathroom, and the new study, yeah. The original hallway is going to be removed from the game. We have to choose the attics and set them aside, and then set the remaining locations aside, which is like the parlor, right? And the hall's going to be in here because we haven't unlocked it yet. But you can see already, right, they learned their lessons of removing locations, and instead things are just going to sort of flow a little cleaner. This has a 3 agenda, just like the original one, and we need 6 clues to advance. We'll hop in here, and this is just going to be your base Night of the Zealot guide, right? So it's going to tell us how the game works, which we've already covered in depth, which things to gather, which we've done. Over here is just some new icons, and like when you're supposed to get this, instead get this, right? And then this is the back. There could be achievements. This could be something that we can do to make it more exciting in the future, but I tend to not pay too much attention to them. I think I've pretty conveniently done most of these, like just naturally. Obviously, I haven't had the option to add Lita and not do it, although I probably could today. But I've definitely, during the Return to mission, had Lita kill the Ghoul Priest with her reaction. I've burned down my house. I've done all the... I haven't remained in our house for the first 3 rounds. That seems not ideal. I've definitely done all 6 people. I've done all the locations. I've never killed Billy Cooper by defeating the Ghoul Priest. That hasn't happened because I almost always don't bring the Ghoul Priest forward. I've never used a baseball bat, so that wouldn't be it. I have definitely completed the Devour below without a Murtaugh spawning. I've definitely not won it without beating a cultist. That's insane. And I've not done it without a ghoul. And then where are the ultimatums? Are they on the previous page? I don't know. That must be a thing. I'd have to look up what the ultimatums are. But yeah, they're not crazy hard, but they're interesting. Some of them actually are pretty crazy. Anyway, so we're here. Let's begin our mulligan process. We have to. It's a new game, so we have to add all of our fun little things. So we get our attachment helper, our cleanup helper. Oh, we don't need attachment helper. We need cleanup helper, hand helper at any point. Thank you, and the search assistant. Okay, and that's all of these things. The bag will be over here for us. Okay, let's click standard, just in case it didn't already have. Yeah, there we go, realigned. Okay, everything here is good. So we'll do mulligans. Oh, we need to add the draw one button. I know I forgot something. Not that. Enable draw one button. Okay. Oh, well, I'm still white. Okay. Well, this is a pretty good start. We have our resource generation. We don't need the backpack because we have all the items that we really want in our hand. Live and learn's fun, but we don't need it. But we can play this, we can play this, and we can play this, so we're pretty happy. So we'll take 2 more cards. 1 and 2. Alright, track shoes are pretty neat. We always like the ability to get extra stats and potentially free movement. It's not as important in missions like this unless we need to move multiple times, we'll see. But we'll head over here to Skids, and we'll hop out to the GM section, and we'll draw 5. Okay. Well, if you remember before, we used to have leather coat with Lonnie, but now we have access to trench coat, which we like much more. We love seeing our machete in our opening hand. Yeah, so we have lockpicks to help with investigating too. That's great. It's one of the other cards we took with our extra experience. Yeah, this is pretty solid. We're not going to start with Trenchcoat or Lonnie. We don't think we'll need those too early. And Take the Initiative is a card that is good, but we really are going to need some resource generation to be able to play the things that are in our hand. So let's do that. Let's go fishing for that. Well, that's a great card. And another item? No, but that's okay. All right. So what's good about this is that it reduces the cost of each asset by 1. So now these each only cost 2, so we can get a resource, play a Vigilant, and play them all. So we'll probably draw a card first, trying to find another resource. So we'll start with Skids, and we'll do that. So we'll draw a card. We did find something. This is something that let us help with evasion, and it'll keep the monster exhausted for an extra turn. That said, I don't think we're really going to need to do that super early. We'll have our machete, so we're going to gain a resource with our second action. And then with the third, we're going to play Ever Vigilant, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to play machete and lockpicks. For Daryl, we're going to start out by playing Schofner's Catalog. We're going to use Schofner's Catalog as a fast and play Magnifying Glass. And then we're going to use Schofner's Catalog. Oh, I didn't put us where we're supposed to start. Whoops. We're going to use Schofner's Catalog to play Dream Diary. But we start here in the study, much like in the beginning. Obviously, it's a slightly different study because it's not the same like the other one was. But I'll double check. Oh yeah, this didn't say this to start somewhere. Oh no, it does. We begin at the study gateway, which is here. Alright, so we have 6, it's 3, we're plus 3, so we're just going to investigate. We should go grab that, but if I remember correctly, that's going to be a success. It is, and there's not a ghoul, so we don't take any damage, and we grab a clue for Daryl. Alright, so that's good. We'll go to Upkeep. We drew Deduction, that's always great. And we drew our financial resource generation, so that's important for us, that's good to know. Alright, we'll add a Doom to the agenda. We'll shuffle this because I'm not sure if I did. We'll have Skids be the lead investigator. So we'll draw a card. Oh, hey, look, there's that trench coat. and then oh no, we don't draw it from our deck. We draw encounter cards. Ah, all right. Good old Frozen in Fear. What else? Oh man. Well, that's gonna stink, but there's not too much we can do about it. So it's there. Alright, test willpower. For each point you fail by, you discard a card at random, and if you cannot, you take a damage. Well, that's awful. Okay, well now they're punishing me for not using my dream diary like I should have, I guess. I guess we'll just test it. We're -1. Yep, so we fail by 3, so for each point we fail by, we discard a card, so that's what they call all of them. Yep. That's one of the new return to ones, so it's pretty rough. But we'll investigate. We're +3. We succeed. We'll use our not that. We'll use our diary to get a card into our hand. We'll grab a dream, essence of the dream, and then we'll move down. Okay. In the hall, you cannot take a draw action. Okay. Well, it's not a huge deal. We don't really plan to make a draw action there. So it's Skid's turn. He'll move and then move again, and then because of Frozen in Fear, he moved twice. Okay, now we have to make this test, so we are -1. We can commit this to it, but that would only get us to even, and that's not very likely, so we're going to just test it. That's going to be a fail, I'm sure, and then we take a horror as a penalty. Okay, then we'll go to upkeep, and upkeep, okay, could be worse. Doom on the agenda, encounter cards. So, Ancient Evils, well, we can't stop that. So we'll be advancing. A lead investigator must decide. We either discard a card at random, or they take 2 horror. Well, we're not taking 2 horror, so we're discarding a card at random. Let's go there. Okay. Essence of the Dream gets sent over to the Shadow Realm, and then discard a card at random. That's unfortunate, because it's one of the cards that we could have used to help make the test. Alright, and then we'll go to encounter cards. Oh, let's make sure the agenda didn't change. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Can't play cards now. Alright, well, Skids is totally locked down. Willpower check. If you fail, you discard an asset. Oh, well, let's test. We're -2. We fail. I really care about keeping up our stuff, and we spent the money that we can use on the Chauviner's catalog for much, so we'll just do that. Alright, we'll have Skids go, and he'll investigate. He'll use his lockpicks, so he's 7-1, which is +6. And he'll fail, which will take a charge. And then this says if we lose that symbol, or find that symbol, we lose all of our actions. So that was great. We'll be ending our turn, and we're -1, and we fail again. Alright, well, Skids has had a wonderful experience playing Arkham Horror today. We'll have Daryl move into the bedroom. After you fail a skill test here, you must discard a card at random. Well, alright, so we moved in, we'll use our diary, and then we will laugh at them asking us to discard by committing all the cards in our hand. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 2, so we're +7. We succeeded by 3, and that is the amount that we need to interpret the dream. So we're going to be able to take both of the clues, and then head up here and mark that we have interpreted the dream. Pardon my extremely loud clackety mechanical keyboard. And that's for Daryl. And over here, we're playing with Skids. Okay. So that's all 3 for us, because we moved, we grabbed our essence, and then we played deduction as we investigated with the essence. Alright, and then Skid had their turn ended, so we'll go to upkeep. That's a great card. Go to upkeep over here. Dissonant Voices goes away at the end of the round. We are going to put a Doom on the agenda, and we'll draw an encounter card. Each investigator with 3 or fewer cards in hand takes a damage and a horror. Well, that's definitely Daryl. We have the cards, so we're fine. Each investigator with 4 or more cards in hands must test willpower 2. Okay, well that's us. We're even. We fail. Discard 2 cards at random from their hand. Okay, 1, 2. That's another one of the new cards. See, it ups the difficulty with some of these new encounter cards. And then grab one over here. We got some rats. Okay. Well, let's have Daryl go first. We'll have Daryl begin by punching rats because he's better at punching than evading. There are no ghouls, so it's a 0, so it's a success. We will spend 4 resources to play Dr. Milan, which will give us an intellect. And then, whoops, we will move up. Alright, so for Daryl, we know for a fact that we don't want to lose our turn again like we did last time, so let's start by drawing a card. That's good. I don't know if we're going to be evading too much. Let's draw another card. Okay, that'll be helpful. And then we'll use our lockpicks and we'll attempt to investigate. This time we succeed, and we are 7 minus 3 is 4, so we succeed by enough to keep our charge, and we get a clue. Now we have to test Frozen in Fear, and we don't have any cards besides this that we can commit. And although we could commit that, that would only get us to even, so we don't want to risk it. Well, we would have passed. Stinks for us. Doom on the agenda, and encounter cards. Alright, we're -1. And we'll take a horror. And then this says, after you reveal while investigating, so that doesn't count for other tests, so we're fine. That's going to increase the shroud of this location, which is fine because it doesn't have any. So we'll have Skids go first. Skids will begin by investigating. We're doing this because we want to get out, and we need to use 2 actions to move it Frozen in Fear. So once again, that's enough to succeed by. So Skids will get the clue. It does exhaust the lockpicks, I have to remember that. And then we'll use both actions to move out. And then we'll spend 2 resources to gain an additional action this turn. And we will advance with the 6 clues that we have, with Skids having 1 action remaining. Alright, put into play the set-aside hole-in-the-wall location, so hopefully it's right here. There we go. Choose an investigator that's in the guest hall. They immediately move into the hole in the wall and reveal it. Then they test willpower 4 for each point that they fail by. They discard a card at random. Well, since Daryl has no cards, we'll happily have Daryl move. Daryl will test. -2. We fail, and we'll discard all the cards. That was easy. Okay. But then Skids has another action, so he'll move forward. We reveal the hole in the wall. We'll put the attic and parlor into play, but I just didn't set them aside. I left them where they belong. And that's our turn. Alright. Okay. We haven't spawned any of the bad guys yet, which is kind of scary. And it's Daryl's turn. What do we need now? 6 clues again? And get back to the hallway? Okay. I think Daryl's going to go down to the basement. After you reveal the basement, put another location into play. Ooh, see, this is different. So normally when you play here, the basement only does one thing. But here, there's another location called deep below your house. So action 1 for Daryl. Oh, did I not do upkeep for him last turn? Okay. Well, I'm going to have to discard whatever. Well, haha, joke's on us. Okay. So we did one thing. We lose ties. I don't like losing ties, but I don't think I'm going to tie, so we'll just test. We're +5. We succeed, and we succeed, and we'll gain an extra resource from Dr. Milan, and we'll take both of these clues. Alright, and then we go to upkeep, and then... Did I make this test? I don't think I did. Hey, I succeed. Nice. Alright. Okay, good. So we've already got 2 easy marks. We might just fire off for 2 because we have so few resources, but we'll see. I'd really like to get all 3, but sometimes you just gotta play. All right, 3 out of 7, and we'll grab an encounter card. Oh, we're not playing in this turn. Game always listens. Okay, we got another mat. If it attacks you, you discard a card at random from your hand. All right, well, Skids is gonna come do his job. So he'll move down. He'll engage the rats, and he'll attack them with the machete. So he is 4 to 2, which is +2. He'll commit watch this to be +3 and commit 2 resources of it. And we'll throw in a cheap shot to be +4, which should cover the bag, and we're good. So he gets 2 resources, double the resources committed, so 4, because he succeeded by 1 or more. And then this takes 2 damage, the extra 1 from the machete, and dies. Move, engage, fight. So this is a spot where we can consider taking some extra actions to find some extra information. And if we're going to play Skids, we should probably do that, so we will. So we'll spend those 2 resources that we just got from Watch This to move down, yep, because Watch This is a skill card, not a event. After you reveal the gold pits, test 3 agility. For each point you fail by, search for a copy of Rats and draw it. Alright, so we're +1. Let's go +2 and see what happens. So we fail, and we would like to keep Rats in the deck because they're pretty easy. So we're going to actually search to do... I don't know why we got that, not the rats that I was hovering, but okay. We'll grab the rats. We only failed by 1, so we'll take them, and they engage us. And then we shuffle the encounter deck after, but that doesn't matter because we didn't go into the deck. Alright, so that's 4 actions for Skids, right? We moved down, we engaged the monster, we fought the monster, we spent our money and moved down again. So he can't fight the rats. That said, we're going to let the rats stay on him because Daryl's got a different job, which is to investigate this location. That said, it's got pretty high shroud. We're 7 to 4, which is only +3, and we do lose ties. I think I'm just going to risk it. We're going to go +4 with Eureka. We succeed, so we get to resolve Eureka. We lost both of our deductions, and Daryl is not currently playing the other card. My brain's not working. Perception. So we're going to take I've Got a Plan in case we need to fight later. That's probably the best one of these that we could take. Eureka goes to the discard pile, and then we'll investigate +3. And we'll succeed. Okay, so we'll take both of the clues. Whoops. I don't know why it's not stacking. There we go. Alright, and we would have gained a resource with Milan from successfully investigating. So that's 1, 2, 3. Move, investigate, investigate. So then we'll do upkeep. Okay, and then upkeep. This goes away, and this would have attacked us in the monster step, which I skipped like a bad person. Okay. Doom in the agenda, 4 of 7, and encounter cards. Ooh, he spawns up in the attic. Alright, well, Daryl can't go in there by himself, so we'll have to wait for Skids. And then over here. Alright, 3 or fewer cards is Daryl. We'll take a damage and do a horror to Dr. Milan. And then we have 4 cards, so we're fine. And then if you have 4 or more cards, you must test, and then, okay. We've played this game before, game. Well, we could commit this, but we're still going to have to discard cards anyway, so I'd rather discard this than these. Okay. There's not a ghoul here, but we're going to discard half. Was it half? 2 cards at random, which is effectively half. Alright. So we lost an easy mark and a Faustian bargain. Alright. So then it's our turn. We'll have Skids go. He will attack the rats. That is enough to kill it. Oh, actually, investigators at this location lose ties, right? So 4 to 1. Yeah, that's not enough. Okay. So we'll do it again. There's no ghoul, so it's a 0, so we're good. And then we'll have Skids move up. Daryl's going to take the opportunity to discard this and move up. So that's his 3, and we just go right to upkeep. Another Milan. Okay, well this is Skid's personal weakness. Put hospital debts into your threat area. Move 1 resource from your pool to hospital debts. When the game ends, if it has fewer than 6, you earn less XP. Well, immediately we're not dealing with that, so we're going to get as many on there as we can. So there's a sink for 6 money that we're going to have to take into account when we build our next set of experience. This is limit twice per round, so we've done that. Conveniently, it was in the upkeep that we drew this, so it'll be ready in the next round to be paid again. Alright, well, weapon, a thing for him to fight, and then another thing to fight. Alright, so Skids will go first, they'll fight the Grave Eater. They're +2, and that's fine. Yep, we'll get them. Then we'll fight the rats at +3. That's fine, because we got rid of the weakness. And then we have 1 action remaining, and we'll use it to move up to here. And that will take 2 resources away and put them here. Like I said, we're just trying to clear this as quickly as possible, so that way we know that we're good. For Daryl, well, we had plans, and then they got delayed by some of the card draws. We'll grab Essence of the Dream, we'll draw a card, and we'll move up, preparing to move into the attic and play with the Sin Eater. Alright, so from there we'll go to upkeep and upkeep. Alright, Doom on the agenda, 6 of 7, and encounter cards. This spawns back in the bedroom, which is down here. And it's a hunter, so it'll come find us. It's a new monster. Cool, right? And we got rats again. Alright, so I think we want to have Skids go handle that problem for us in the attic, so we will do that. So Skids will go first, hop into the attic, and we found the new attic as well. Oh, no, this is the old attic. You have to take a horror for entering, okay? We'll grab the monster, and we'll fight it. So we're going to commit daring, and that'll get us to 6, 7 to 4. We succeed, so we deal 2 damage because it's the only monster engaged with us, and we draw a card from daring. And then we'll fight it again at +2. Or sorry, that's even. Oof, we did not do calculations well. We'll fight it at even because +1 doesn't make much sense. Okay, that's a fail, and I believe the penalty is an extra horror. No, we take a damage because there's a ghoul. Alright. Well, yeah. We don't want to risk too much here, so we're going to have Daryl move up. We'll take an attack of opportunity, which I've done. And then we'll have Daryl use, I've got a plan on the, oh, not that, on the ghoul. So we are 6 to 4 is +2. And we are okay with +2 because we could always be lucky. But we don't have to be. And that will deal 3 damage to kill it, but it does have victory, so we'll slide it over here. We have enough clues to make that be lethal. And then we'll fight our swarm of rats. We are +1. So we would fail, but instead, actually, yeah, we'll be lucky. Yeah. I guess we could have did that first, knowing how safe we were with both Live and Learn and Lucky. We should have done that first, but we didn't. That was, oh, I forgot my evidence. So we killed 2 rats as Daryl, so we'll get those 2. Right? After an enemy any play, okay, so we could only have done it those 2 times. We could have killed the 2 guys that we spawned on, and it exhausts to do this, so that's fine. But now we have two charges. I should have been doing that better. Yeah, sorry, it's my first time playing Daryl. I appreciate your patience. Alright, so then we go to the monster phase. This guy hunts, and then we go to upkeep. Okay. Okay. Doom in the agenda advances us. Shuffle the discard pile in and discard from the top until we find a ghoul, and then it goes to the lead investigator no matter where they are. Actually, it says they draw. It doesn't say spawn engaged with. But it's just this guy. Okay, so now what we do is we exhaust the Kodak to put a resource on it. And then this would have gone to here, not onto our location. Okay, that's how it works. And then I can get the clues. Okay. The rat that we killed before was over here, so that works. You know what? I'm not going to take an extra one because I don't remember 100% if I killed it before or after I got the clues. So we'll play in our detriment. Like, we'll hurt ourselves to make it cleaner. All right, so Daryl, Skids will go first. We will just get this out of the way and pay our hospital debts off. That is done. That's a fast, so we're done. From there, we are going to attack this monster. We are 4-2, which is +2, and we'll commit quick thinking to be +3 and hope to potentially maybe get an extra card. And we'll throw in this Essence of the Dreams to make it +5 because we're at the same location, trying to give the extra action, which we would have had anyway. Awesome. So even though we would lose an action, we gain it, and then the monster died, so the resource goes over to here. Alright, so we have 3 actions still for Skids. We'll use our lockpicks to investigate. We're 7-1. We succeed, so we'll grab a clue. From there, we will play... we will draw a card. We'll start there. We like that card. I don't want to play Faustian Bargain. I don't want to start adding curses in, and we've done most of the things that we need to do with our money. I do like the idea of turning them into extra actions, but I don't want to do it now while we have things looming. I guess we'll just play Easy Mark. It's not ideal. I prefer to get multiple chains, but we discarded one before. So, okay, so this is going to help us with evading if we need to, but it'll be Daryl's turn now, so we'll investigate the location. We succeeded. So we'll grab a clue and we'll get a resource. We'll investigate again. We succeed. We'll investigate again. We succeed. So we get all 3 clues. And we'll get both of the... Assuming that we can take both. Let me read this. Let me read this. Yes, we'll take both of the evidences for Daryl. So that's all 3 actions. Whoops. There we go. So then this monster hunts into the hole in the wall, and we go upkeep and upkeep. Of course, it's 1 card away. Love you, game. Love you so much. Okay. At the end of the enemy phase, place each unengaged ghoul. Oh, I didn't check this. Okay, so they move towards the parlor, which is actually the hallway. Right? No. Okay, well there is no parlor, so then they would not... Was I told to put the parlor in? Did I make that mistake? Let's back it up. It would have been over here, I think. Put the hole in the wall in. Choose an investigator, do the things. Yeah, I think it's at the bottom. On this one is where we're going to put the parlor in. Yeah, okay. So there's no parlor location for him to hunt, for him to be forced to by the agenda. So we don't have to move him at all. So he'll stay there. At the end of the round, if there's a ghoul in the hallway, we have to add a doom. So that's important to note. Okay. It's our turn. We have put a doom on the agenda. We are doing encounter cards. Okay, well, Prey doesn't matter when you draw him, so there he is. And we're not playing cards this turn. Alright. He has 3 fists. So I think we're just going to invade him because we have a bunch of cards and we don't want to fight a guy that we don't have to fight. So for evasion, we're 4-2. We'll go 6-2 and be +4. We succeed, so we draw a card from Manual Decks, and he gets exhausted. We'll move down as action 1. As action 2, we will move into here and grab a friend. We'll spend 2 resources to take an extra action. Actually, does that... If we fight him, we'll only be even. That is not ideal. Never mind. Yeah, we'll just stay here. This way he can engage us when he comes in. And so we evaded, we moved, and so we have 1 more action now. I I guess it'll be to play Faustian Bargain. If we're gonna play the card, we have to use it, so we will. Alright, well, Daryl can't play cards, and we're not staying here to hang out with this guy, so we'll move down. Is that a ghoul? Oh, he is. I should have paid closer. Alright, hold on. We're gonna undo all this. We can't leave a ghoul behind. Because he'll be forced to move by the other thing, and then he'll do worse things. So Skid backs up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This goes away. This goes away. That's what we drew. And we get all of our actions back. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to have Daryl go first. He'll draw Essence of the Dream. He will then draw a card and then gain a resource. And then we'll have this monster's not exhausted, it's still engaged over here. We'll have Skids fight. They'll attack with the machete, which is they'll be +1 that way, or +2. No, yeah, +1. Oof. Yeah, and I guess it'll be +1. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll use that as a fallback if we have to. Okay, so that's number of ghouls at your location, so that's 1, so that is a success. And then we'll fight again, and we succeed. Alright, that's fortunate. 1, 2. I'm okay with not moving down, so now we'll play the Faustian Bargain. Oh, I didn't take the tokens out, so that's fine. Okay. So now this monster hunts, so it'll be here. We'll go to Upkeep, where we will discard this. Upkeep over here, where we'll draw that card, and then the agenda will add another Doom to it from the ghoul being there. Then we will do Doom on the agenda for regular stuff, encounter card, rats. Okay. Alright, well we need to get Skids down there to fight this guy. So we're going to do that. Skids will take an attack of opportunity for moving. This guy will engage. Then we'll commit, take the initiative for +2, +3, so we're +4. Okay, thank you. I was about to get super frustrated. So we get the vicious blow damage, and we kill the corpse-hungry ghoul. We have 1 action was moving, 1 action was fighting, so we'll fight again. And this time we're +3. Okay. So the reason we didn't just kill the rats first was because we wanted to make sure that our take the initiative was worth the most. That said, I think this is a good spot to spend 2 resources to play Easy Mark. Basically, that doesn't work. That just draws us a card, right? It doesn't actually. It draws me 1 extra card. Yeah, no. I think we'll just hold it. All right. So then Daryl will move down. We will have 1 action possible. I don't think even scavenging is going to matter at this point. Interesting. So because I have 2 Dream Diaries, do I have 2 bonded cards of Essence of the Dream? Yeah. Okay, well, let's do that then. So we'll grab that. So we moved, which costs 2 action, and we grab that. So then we will go to Upkeep. We have to make this test. We are -1 at the base. So we'll start by testing -1. We will just be lucky and pass. And that'll go away. Then we'll go to Upkeep. We'll discard Mag Glass because we've already got it. And we want our diary. Upkeep over here. And then we will take 6 clues from Daryl and advance in the hallway. The barrier blocking passage. Oh, the parlor should have been in play. So I did screw that up. So we'll put another Doom on this. Reveal the parlor. Okay, put Gold Priest here, and put Lita there. Or this is what we need. Okay. It's kind of weird. Alright. Okay, so we advanced end of round. Right? It's when the round ends, so the round has already ended, so we don't get another doom for this. But the Ghoul Priest spawns here, and the prey is the highest combat, which is skids. Alright, and then what have we done? Oh, interesting. What have you done is the name of that. Okay. We put the doom on the agenda already, so we're adding counter cards. Alright, well skids wasn't playing much this turn anyway. And we got rats over here. That's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. So the goal was going to be to go get Lita and come back. And if we do that, we're going to take 2 attacks of opportunity. I think we still just go do that. Yeah, so bop, bop, right, because we'll be alright. We'll move into this location. We'll do the parlay, which is on parlor. Here it is. It's intellect 4, so we have 6, so we're +2. We will commit Milan to be +3, and we will commit Scavenging to be +4, which we needed. We'll take control of Lita, and then we will move back. So that's all 3 actions. Attack of Opportunity will just kill Dr. Milan, and we are finished for now. Alright, so Lita is here. So investigators at her location gain +1 combat. And whenever you attack a monster enemy successfully, you'll deal an extra damage. So we have a monster to fight, so we will fight it. So Skids will begin by punching. Skids has a base of 5, with 4 + 1 being 5. So we'll commit Essence of the Dream to be +3. And Skids will commit Lonnie to be... No, I don't want to commit Lonnie. He hits super hard. Actually, I guess before fighting, let's evade. So we are 4 to evade. We'll go 5, 6, 7, 8. Will be +4. Alright, we have successfully evaded Gold Priest. We can't play cards this turn, so we can't play Lonnie, which is what I would prefer to do. So we'll just attack +3. We succeed. The first 2 damage is now dealt. And then we'll use Lita's React to deal an extra 1, because this is a monster. And then we will do it again. And once again, we'll use the Essence of the Dream. And we succeed to do 3 more, because that's not limited. Right? It doesn't exhaust her, so we can just do that every time. Then we'll go to the monster phase, so they get to do their thing, which will be to hit Lita. And then Skids doesn't have any on him, so we'll go to Upkeep. Okay, and then the Ghoul Priest readies in the Upkeep and goes to Skids. And then we go to Doom on the agenda. There's a ghoul here. There's 2 ghouls here. Yeah, there's 2. Okay, so then never mind. We'll take 3 of this damage away from this guy. And we'll just kill this ghoul, which is still a monster, so it'll die. And we'll use Lita's React because the machete doesn't work. Yeah, there's no way we're just going to put free Doom on the agenda. Yeah, I think we're at 6 now. And encounter card. Okay. Discard cards at random. Well, not ideal. We are going to commit Take Heart to that test because we don't think that they're going to pass. They have failed, and there is a ghoul, so we take a damage. And then they failed by all 3, so they have to discard all of them, which is unfortunate. Alright, but because they failed, we get 2 resources and draw 2 cards. I guess technically we would have put evidence on this guy, but it won't matter because by the time we get it, he'll be gone. Okay, each investigator with 3 or fewer cards must take a damage in horror. Well, that would be Skids now. And then 4 more tests willpower 2. We're going to make that a 0 with our evidence that we collected before. And we can't go below 0, so we pass. So we keep all the cards in our hand. Alright. So we will start with Daryl. We will exhaust this to draw Essence of the Dream. That's action 1. Action 2 is going to be, does he ever retaliate? He does. That's a big problem. I guess action 2 is going to be to attack him. We'll reduce the check by 2, so we're 3 to 2 is +1. Yeah, we could take 1 hit, right? Yeah. Hey! We'll succeed. And we'll deal 2 damage to help. And then we have 1 action remaining. I mean, we can go fishing for the other I've got a plan, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, probably should have drawn a card first, but that's alright. So now it's Skid's turn. We'll commit Essence of the Dream to the fight. This would have went away at the end of last turn. So Skid's is going to be 7 to 4 is +3. Well, that's a fail, and he gets retaliated on. And that's death for Skids. Okay. Well, that's not good. He dies to mental trauma, so that's even worse. And the Ghoul Priest will now engage us. We go to the monster phase, so we get hit. Leader will take 1 of each, and then we'll take the other one. Upkeep, we have to put a Doom on the agenda, and a Doom on the agenda, and encounter card. Losing an asset, that literally doesn't matter, but that's fine. We'll test. What is that symbol? -1. So we fail, so we take a horror for our failure. And then we'll just lose our magnifying glass, because we can't use it now anyway. Alright, we will begin by playing I've Got a Plan. And we will spend 3 resources to do so. We will gain +1, +2, so we are 7. We succeed, so we deal 3 damage to him. That is not a lot. Yeah, we can't kill him. That sucks. Alright, so we'll shortcut our way over to the parlor, which is a fast, so we don't take an attack of opportunity, and we will resign, which is, I think this might be the first time I have to put the Ghoul Priest into the second deck, but we can't kill him. If we try to fight him there, we're just gonna die. I guess we could try to evade him first. Sure. We'll go +1 to evade with take hard on it, right? Because all we did so far is fight. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, we can play with this then. We get another evidence back. Right, so that'll reduce it. We evade him, so he's like this, so then he won't attack us. So then we'll draw from Essence of the Dream. Okay, and then next turn, if we attack him, we'll be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 to 4 is +3. I'm willing to roll those dice. Alright, we'll take another... Oh, wait. But we need to be not here because... Okay, we need to have shortcut first anyway. Because otherwise the doom the doom that we place from the thing... Okay, so we shortcut first because he'll be engaged with us and therefore he won't move. And we won't get an extra doom here. Okay. Alright, so he'll ready and join us. We'll get an upkeep. Okay, it's not going to matter. This, and then watch Ancient Evils for my greed. Alright, game. You got me. We are not 1 or 2. It's Act 3. We escape, and the ghouls run rampant, and I take a physical trauma, which is also terrible. Oh, this game. Alright. The house is still standing. The ghoul priest is alive. We give Lita to Skids, and then we get 6 experience each. 4 plus the 2. Man. And then let's just see if we would pass. So we would reduce the test by 2. We would have. Oh, man. We would have had 2 more XP, and we would have had a better resolution. Oh well. Alright, well, I'll see everyone tomorrow with our 6 XP and our new mission. Hope everyone had a good night, and I'll see you there.